In 2026, scientists around the world are watching the Pacific Ocean very closely because what is happening right now beneath the surface of the ocean could shape global weather for the next 2 years. And according to multiple climate experts, the 2026 El Niño intensity forecast is becoming increasingly alarming. Some researchers believe we may be heading toward one of the strongest El Niño events ever recorded, a possible super El Niño powerful enough to influence temperatures, storms, droughts, floods, food production, and even global economic stability. So what exactly is happening in the Pacific Ocean? Why are climate scientists suddenly so concerned? And could 2026 and 2027 become the hottest years in modern history? Let's break it all down. First, we need to understand what El Niño actually is. El Niño is a natural climate pattern that begins in the Pacific Ocean. Normally, strong trade winds push warm surface water westward toward Asia and Australia. Cooler water then rises near South America, creating a balanced ocean system. But during an El Niño event, those trade winds weaken or sometimes reverse completely. When that happens, warm water spreads eastward across the Pacific Ocean. This shift may sound simple, but it changes atmospheric circulation across the entire planet. And that is why El Niño can influence weather thousands of kilometers away from the Pacific itself. Historically, strong El Niño years have been linked to extreme heat waves, devastating floods, droughts, failed monsoons, wildfires, and unusual storm activity around the world. Now here's why the 2026 El Niño intensity forecast is making headlines. Scientists recently observed rapidly warming ocean temperatures in the central and eastern Pacific. At the same time, a rare sequence of atmospheric events triggered powerful wind bursts across the ocean. These bursts help push enormous amounts of heat beneath the Pacific surface. That underwater heat is important because it acts like stored energy waiting to rise. Many climate models now show this heat spreading upward and expanding to the Pacific during late 2026. Some projections suggest ocean temperatures could rise more than 3 degrees Celsius above normal in certain regions. To put that into perspective, even a small increase in ocean temperature can significantly alter global weather systems. A 3-degree anomaly is considered extremely strong territory. This is why some experts are using the term Super El Niño. And if that happens while the Earth is already warming due to climate change, the consequences could become much more severe. Climate change and El Niño are not the same thing. El Niño is a natural cycle that has existed for thousands of years. Climate change, on the other hand, is a long-term warming trend caused mainly by greenhouse gas emissions from human activity. But when these two forces combine, temperatures can spike dramatically. Think of climate change as raising the baseline temperature of the planet. El Niño then adds an extra burst of heat on top of that already elevated baseline. That combination is exactly what scientists fear could happen during 2026 and 2027. In fact, several researchers believe the next 2 years could challenge or break global temperature records. And extreme heat is only part of the story. A strong El Niño changes rainfall patterns worldwide. Some regions become much wetter than usual, while others face dangerous drought conditions. In parts of South America and the southern United States, El Niño often brings heavier rainfall and flooding risks. Meanwhile, regions like Australia, Southeast Asia, and parts of South Asia can experience reduced rainfall and severe heat. For countries like India and Pakistan, this matters enormously. The South Asian monsoon is one of the most important weather systems on Earth. It supports agriculture, drinking water supplies, and food production for billions of people. A powerful El Niño can weaken or disrupt monsoon rainfall. That means longer heat waves, water shortages, crop stress, and pressure on electricity systems. And remember, these impacts do not happen in isolation. Extreme heat can increase wildfire risks. Droughts can damage agriculture. Floods can destroy infrastructure. Food prices can rise globally. And vulnerable populations often suffer the most. Another major effect involves tropical storms and hurricanes. Interestingly, El Niño can reduce hurricane activity in the Atlantic Ocean because stronger upper-level winds disrupt storm formation. But at the same time, cyclone activity in the Pacific can increase. So while one region may see fewer storms, another region could face more intense tropical systems. This is why El Niño is considered a global climate disruptor rather than just an ocean event. Now, it's important to understand that forecasting El Niño is extremely complex. Scientists are not saying disaster is guaranteed. Climate systems are chaotic, and forecasts can change over time. Some climate models still predict a weaker El Niño or even neutral conditions. Others strongly support the possibility of a major event. That uncertainty is normal in climate science. But what makes the current situation different is the growing agreement among multiple forecasting systems that the Pacific Ocean is entering a highly unstable and unusually warm phase. And many experts say the signals resemble conditions seen before previous historic El Niño events, including the massive events of 1982, 1997, and 2015. Those years brought major global weather disruptions and record-breaking temperatures. But today, the world is even warmer than it was during those past events. That is why scientists are paying such close attention to the 2026 El Niño intensity forecast. Because this is no longer just about one weather cycle. It's about what happens when a naturally powerful climate event collides with a planet already heated by climate change. And the impacts could reach almost every corner of the globe. Heat waves may become longer and more dangerous. Rainfall patterns could become increasingly unpredictable. Agriculture may face new pressures. Water systems could be strained. And extreme weather events may become more frequent or more intense in vulnerable regions. Over the coming months, scientists will continue monitoring Pacific Ocean temperatures, wind patterns, and atmospheric changes to determine how strong this El Niño may become. For now, the message from climate experts is clear.